Of Belgium, Egyptian and Lebanese legacy, 22-year-old artist-songwriter Tamino Moharam Fouad has rather a behalf to dwell up to. He was so famous in reality, how he was taking into account the moniker "this audio of the Nile." Affirmative, it's rather frequently in the Arabic language planet how these nicknames are taking into account to a artist, says Tamino on the telephone of his household in Antwerp. Sorrowfully, he dead while I was 5, so I don't very recall him. I include his accounting records and I hear to them rather frequently at household. I particularly loving his dwell recordings since later you very listen his emergency vote, it has such a musicianship and rate and I'm very pride. As an artist, Fouad enjoyed his bounded talents, but his songs are yet sung and favorite by human beings. Tamino, who is signed to the UK indie sticker Dialogue, liberated his opening scrapbook Amir for the summer. Its conduct path, the obsessive Habibi, Arabic language for my loving, drew comparisons in Jeff Buckley and Tom York. Special commend was taking into account to Tamino's vote, that soars of a guttural hum to a window-shattering countertenor in a solitary breathing. Of year it's flatter, they're wonderful musicians and singers and such comparisons give a lot of consumer expectations and I sense love I'm fair start out and I've got so lot to show and in the late, all is making their own item and you fair wish to be recognized for how. End of YouTube position by Tamino, whose at first behalf comes of the character of Mozart's The Sorcery Flutist, found his vote while he began sing at household following high school uptake oneself off to Amsterdam to research piece of music at the age of 17. It was really nature to ever chant during my complete band. I believe it was since I could courier several tension superior while I chant a high set of notes and several other how are pronounced during the reduce rate. This falsetto's audio more than love weeping and the bass voice can be more than love assure audio, it was a way of express. Sing in British quite rather than France, Holland or though Arabic language, Tamino's piece of music marries his West parenting in his medium East cradle, creation audio how is distinctive. It was a deliberate judgment to recording in an Arabic language band on several songs in procedure to emphasize it. The audio is so nice, they give such a grandeur to it, the nearly king audio. Tamino is not the just painter mixing medium Eastern and West piece of music, the Palestine-Jordanian dancing joint 47 Heart sold out the Jazzy Coffee House in London over the year. End of YouTube position by Bruxelles Ma Beauty. Tamino points out how in comparison with West musicians, an band of the medium East follows the artist's conduct quite rather than the tune in front line of them. We wrote each location downward and they adhere to the notes but they extemporize in among and vary add their own express. They will be a bit more than freestyle perhaps. It's various each period the chant is play and house thing I very feast and thing I requested for myself. The outcome gives added rate to Tamino's audio, that he says is common of piece of music of the Arabic language civilization. Down there's as well a lot of sorrow in Arabic language piece of music and a lot of longing but it progresses to thing magnificent that I very love. In my own piece of music, the rate comes of my own searching for importance and beautiful but I believe it's via rate how I very can discover which it is how I'm looking for during art and during piece of music and during reflecting myself. Tamino says he tries to give how identical rate to his dwell amateur performance, that he describes as rather transcendent. Thou include to letting to it in procedure to very get to the nature. Human beings put in the piece of music and down there's a specific power exchanging among the musicians and the auditorium, it's a nice expertise. End of YouTube position 2 by Tamino. The youthful artist has already won a celeb fan in the form of Radiohead bass player Colin Greenwood, who he controlled to nab for a path on his scrapbook following meet him next one of his shows in Antwerp. He play on one chant, Anil overnight, he play a nice bass voice link. Of year it was surrealistic, but we begun speaking and it was really enjoyable. He said me how he favored the chant and I requested him if he would wish to act on the record for the scrapbook and he told affirmative. He came to the workshop and it was a large expertise. The artist acting dwell in London on December 3rd and time he has toured heavily about Europe. Plans to act Egypt are now on conduct due to his own nerves on game in the earth of his ancient ancestors. We are planner on making several shows in Lebanon and Morocco, but Egypt for me is a big move since of my grandpa and since I very wish to be prepared for it. We include to very get ready for how. Amir is out currently.